everyone, thanks so much for coming through to this video today. Today we are going to draw these lovely Christmas stockings. They're all part of a Christmas set of tutorials that I'm doing. There are 10 and I show you how to draw them all step by step, and I then show you in other videos how to colour them in a range of different mediums: watercolour, acrylic, pencils, pastel pencils, so there's something for everybody. Or you can just have an introduction to a new medium. You can of course colour them however you want. We've already done 2, as you can see in the book. So we've just done a step 1, which was the, oh, where's the other one gone? I seem to have lost. Oh, and there's the next step 1 was the wreath. So they are both level 1 drawings. This is now a level 2 drawing for you. It's a bit trickier. There's a bit more going on, and that's how they work from step 1 up to step 4. And now they come as a book, which you can get on Amazon. The links will be below. It's just gone live yesterday. Or you can get the downloadable sheets by becoming a member, and then you can follow along all the steps as we go, and there's space for you to draw. I also just pulled out the sketchbook. These are called chameleon sketchbooks that I've set up. I'm in the process of launching it on the website. It's not quite ready, but it's basically your own customizable sketchbook. Right, let's get started. So all you need is a pencil. You need 2 liner pens. There's a 0.3 point and a 0.1 point, which I tend to use. So I've got the 0.3 point for the general drawing, and I seem to have lost the lid, and a 0.1, oh, it's there, it's on the end, and a 0.1 for the detail. Okay, so we're going to draw first, and then we're probably going to go over it in pen. You don't have to do that. There's lots of steps where it gets to a stage where you're at, and you don't have to do everything that I'm doing. Just go with the flow, do what you want. Let's do this. Okay, so we need to go back to step 1 because these are step by step. I haven't actually got this book yet printed for myself. I haven't got the author copies yet, but it is available on Amazon, and I will make sure the links are below in all the videos. So let's get started. The first step is just to draw the sacks themselves. Okay, so you're going to have to try and think where the middle one's going to be and where the outer ones are going to be. So I'm going to draw the one in the middle first. Kind of just going to draw it around like that and coming up. Now I'm pressing really lightly first, and then when I'm happy with the shape of it, I can then come over a bit, kind of a bit bigger, and then I'm doing the same here. Okay, getting the general shape of it. They don't all have to be exactly the same, else it wouldn't look natural. Okay, if they're slightly different, even better. I know on there they're not, but they have been done using a digital what you call them, tablets, sorry, brain fog, and so they're just kind of copy and pasted and then given different details. So we'll do that. Then we are going to draw the tops of the stockings, which are basically just a ripply shape in a block like so. Now I haven't sketched that as in lots of little lines and pressed lightly because I feel as though I can pretty much get that drawn in quite easily in one go. It doesn't really need all that detail. I feel as though I've done that quite low down. We'll see how it goes. Okay, and then we come up, and then where the bottom of this one is where the top of this one is. That's basically what we're aiming for. Just a wriggly shape on top of each stocking. Yeah, no, I think I've done that right. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Right. As I said, it doesn't need to be perfect. Yeah, this is your work. Just keep going in and changing until you're happy with it. That's just generally what I do. And I keep looking back at the design. If you see my head turning, it's because I've got it on the big screen over there that you're seeing on this screen. So there's a little bit of detail on them. Not much. Just to show a little bit of movement. You can put them wherever you want, to be honest. Doesn't matter where. There we go. And I'm just wriggling them in just to show some movement. Okay, try and space them out a little bit. Try not to copy one to the other too much, and you'll get what you want, the desired look. if they're too uniformed and all in straight lines, it'll look very strange. Okay, starting to get there. Just draw that one a bit darker so you can see. There. Right, so just coming around the foot part of that one, it wasn't really in very well. So we've got our three, we've got our 3 stockings drawn. We haven't put the detail in these ones. I'm going to go ahead and just put some shapes around those bits. All it needs is a little bit of detail. Then we're going to come to the top. We need some nice loops. Literally just a little loop at the top of each. Okay. That one actually, I really do think it's not high enough. Don't know why. It should be up here. I knew it wasn't. Saying to myself, yeah, that's fine. It wasn't. It wasn't. But if I put that there, then that looks too high. Yeah, I've definitely done that wrong. Let's come up a bit further. That's better. Okay. Rub away that top line. And now we'll come in. That's better. Didn't think it was right. I was saying, wasn't I? I think it needs to be higher. Trust yourself, you know. Right. So now we just need to put some parcels in. So looking at the screen, we've got one parcel here. We've got a cracker sticking out, coming out the middle. So 2 lines, a point, and then the end can be like that. Yeah, so it's like an arrow, and then the other parcel there can have the ribbon on it like that. Okay, so we've got one parcel drawn in. So we're trying to do these 3D shapes, creating box shapes basically. That's all we're doing. And then we're drawing around the lines in the middle. They're the same direction of the box, and that's basically a parcel. But be careful, because we want one part of it to be going over the top of the other part, like this one did. Yeah, it's going over the ribbon on the back. That's pretty much it for that sack. Got a little bit of tassels on there. The next sack is, again, a cracker coming out the middle. Let's just do that. It's a bit lower down in this one. And just draw in some parcel shapes that you want. You don't have to do them like me. Yeah, come up with your own ideas of how you want the parcels. You just basically need to draw a rectangle in that shows part of the box, and then create a top, and you're done. And then just put some ribbon round. Okay. So we're going to come to this one now. This one is a bit lower down. Again. And the first one, I don't know what I just did there. That's a cracker. We'll just draw some designs in there that show that that's a cracker and it's got some detail. Then we need to draw 2 more parcels. And I'm going to make this one quite low down. And then I'm going to do quite a big one up here. Draw the rectangle in, just point the lines to create the box in that direction, and draw down, and we've got our box. Okay, so they've all got their parcels in now. We're all done. It doesn't have to be the same as what's on there. I wasn't doing the same. I kind of looked, and then I've kind of just done my own thing as well, and that's perfectly okay. In fact, I would recommend it, so you can make it your own. All right, that one is a bit long, a bit too long. It's okay though. Right, so are you ready? It's time for step 2. With step 2, we're decorating the actual patterns. So with the first one, it's long, vertical sweeping lines, wherever you want them. And then they start to kind of come around the toe a bit. Okay. Now with these lines horizontal now, just give them a bit of movement. Yeah, as though the stocking isn't just straight lines, because it won't be. It's fabric, and the fabric will be moving. So make sure that your lines are also moving. Okay, there. We've drawn our crisscross stocking. Might want to go in and make them smaller. I think I will. I think they need to be a bit smaller. Right, so we've got our crisscross stocking. Next is the funny one with the patches on. So what I'm going to do is draw this circle. I'm going to draw the whole shape because I know that square is tucking behind. Then I'm going to show a little bit of a rectangle here. There's no other shape there, so that's fine. Then here, there's a triangle. I'm just copying the shapes. Literally, that's all I'm doing. Trying to curve that one round to show that the sock is going round. It's like a patchwork one, isn't it? It's all patchwork. A semicircle there, a rectangle there, a triangle there, and another semicircle there. Then all we're going to do with that is put little lines all around the edge, because that is showing the detail. Is the light? Can you see okay? Yeah. And then keep coming round. Like so. Oh, do another one there. And just do it however you want. You don't have to do the patterns exactly as they are, as long as you've got forms of shapes and it looks like they've been sewn on. That's fine. Oh, didn't put any movement marks on that foot. Right, so that's number 2 done. The next one is just a lot of circles overlapping. So put them wherever you want and overlap them. Just go round. Nice and simple. It's actually quite fun. And yeah, just go for it. There we are. Just going round. Perfect. Lots of circles. I'm just going to put some littler ones in as well, I think. There we go. Some nice little ones. Perfect. So now we're going to move on to the next one. Step 3. This is the background. So the first thing you need to do for the background is the line up there. By the way, I would recommend you watch the whole video first. I'm just going to move that slightly. The whole video first, and then come back and draw along with the video after you've watched the whole video first. Just going to draw another line there, which is at the top of the stockings, just near the top. Okay, that's not where they're hanging from, but it is the top of the frame where the fireplace is. Then I'm just going to draw 2 lines horizontally behind that. Okay, like that. 1 second. There's a banging noise I needed to quickly check out. Okay, so we're just going to go in and draw some lines as though it's brickwork behind. I'm going to carry on here drawing a fireplace frame. So this is where the fireplace curves in. So now we need to come down with some more evenly spaced lines and just draw in wherever you want them to be, the brick marks. Okay, so that's where the fireplace is. So we could bring it all the way down. All we need to do then is put lines all across the frame. You see where the fireplace is, that marks it nicely. Now this needs to look like a piece of wood. So feel free to do whatever you think, some nice wriggly lines. You might want to have a gnarl in there, a little bit of a knot. Yeah, and then that makes it look a bit more like it's wood. So now we've got the wood across the fireplace, the fire, the brickwork, now the actual fire itself. So we're just adding flames. Okay, and they need to come obviously behind the stockings. I'm not sure I would be hanging my stockings over a naked flame, but hey, it looks like a cute picture, doesn't it? So let's run with it. Let's run with it, guys. I hope you're all well, by the way. I'm yapping on about the drawing. How are you doing, everybody? November 2022, the middle of a recession across the world. Everything's getting expensive. We're running out of fuel. Just after having had a pandemic. Exciting times, and not really in a good way, but we have to keep smiling through it because people before us have been through worse, and Ukraine at the moment, and they're going through worse. It's a war where they are. At least we are not in the middle of a war. So just put those flame shapes wherever you want, okay? It's completely up to you. Now we're going to come in, and I've just realised we need to have a little bit of detail coming off the flames because that shows heat. If you've got those wiggly lines just coming up from the fire, it shows heat. Then I think we're done. I mean, you can come back and just draw some little marks on the bricks just to give it like a little highlight. But then I would just leave it. I think we're done. So now we're going to come in and complete it as an illustration using 03 and 01. 03 micron liner, but you can use any liner that you've got, and you don't even need 2 sizes, but I'm just being picky and I want 2 sizes. So I'm going to come in with the outline of the top of the stocking. There we go. And keep coming. Nice. Big loops at the top. Okay. So I think it's okay actually on this one to do the detail with my thicker pen, but I normally do any kind of detail marks with the thinner pen. I'm going to draw the outline of the presents in the thicker pen and come in with the thinner liner to put in the other decoration, okay? So here as you're going around, make sure you're leaving, you don't go over the line where the wrapping ribbon is going round. So if you draw that ribbon in, draw it straight round, don't cross it over there because it won't make any sense to the eye. We could have a bit of ribbon coming over like that and then hiding under there. I'm going to draw that cracker in like so. So I am just using my thicker liner. By the way, I don't put music on these because I like you to be able to choose what music you want in the background. And if you turn this video down, you wouldn't hear me. So if it goes quiet, it's because I'm not talking and the microphone cuts out. You can always feel free to fast forward any bits where I am just doing repetitive work, of course, or I hope to put chapters in the description for you so that you can follow along and click through to the bits you want to do. There we are. So the stockings are all standing out lovely now. Let's do some detail. Okay, right, we're going to come round and do the circle detail now. And anything that goes over the outside edge of the booty of the stocking, I just obviously won't draw, and that's fine. Be careful to stay inside the stocking area. Which is why it's nice to do the pencil drawing and then come over with the pen and complete. Don't forget to draw in bottom of the sock and the front of the sock. Sock, stocking, booty, whatever you want to call it. There we go. Yep, that's looking good. Okay, so now I'm going to come over the shape area. Now I am not going to draw the stitching in with this thicker pen I want to use the thinner pen for that, as I don't really want that to be the standout thing. Really, it's the shapes. So we'll do that first. There we go. Yep, it's looking fine. I don't think I've missed anything there. And now we're going to do the lines, and actually you can correct anything as you're going along. I think there was a line here that I didn't like a bit further down, and so I shall put that right as we go along. So it should be here, and then I drew another one in there. Fine. And then this one can come from here. So they're a bit more evenly spaced. And then we're coming down to do the stripes down to give our crisscross pattern effect. Like their checkered socks. And then don't forget to do our front bits and our end bits. Good, I think that's all that done. So if you see me staring at the screen, it's just because I'm looking at what I'm doing from a different angle. I find it really helps me. Now I'm going to turn this round and I'm going to draw the line, pulling it towards me. That way you can get a really straight line. Now, when we do the wood, we actually want the lines to be a bit wiggly. So don't draw them too straight, okay? And we can have those little gnarls in of the wood. I call them gnarls, like little, you know, the wood knots you get. And then we can draw around them and it makes it look like the knots you get in woods. So we'll draw that like that. Draw some more going round it. So normally when you get a knot, you'd end up with some more lines around it. So we've got a few there, a few little knots in the wood. And I think that's just given it another effect. So here the lines are a bit smaller, so I don't need to turn it. I'm just kind of filling it in. And then we're going to do all the horizontal lines first, so we get them all in the right place. I'm going to come along and do all the other ones as well. And then vertical. Now obviously these are bricks, so these can be dead straight, and that's fine. Okay, and then once you've done the bricks, you can come in and do the fireplace. Now what I would do is turn it upside down, come around, and kind of spin your paper around and then spin your arm around to get a nice clear shape for the fireplace. And then we'll come in with the lines and the detail afterwards. Now we can come up with some flames from the fire. Some of them will end up behind, and that's fine. So draw that in. I'm going to draw another little flame there. Draw as many as you like. And make sure some of them go up behind so that you don't see, because if they're all just below the stockings, it won't look realistic. They need to look as though they're going behind, like that, so you don't actually go to the point. And there's another big flame there coming up. And we're just drawing in lots more. They're literally just wibbly points, like when we do the leaves and things like that. So we need to come in on those with some detail, which we will do in the one. So I think I've gone over all the main stuff. Now we just need to rub out, and then we can come in with the detail, which is much easier to see once we can see our final design. Now, as I've said before, these are really great for things like Christmas cards. You can photocopy them and then print them onto card. And then just, if you wanted to, you could colour them in different ways so that people are still getting a handmade card, but it means you haven't had to draw it like a million times. So, right, let's do this. So lines all the way around. Have I got my 3 there on my 1? That's my 3. I want my 1. I want the detail to be just a little bit less, as you can see there, less obvious. I just want the detail to be kind of part of the background. It doesn't tie up very well, does it there? It should have come out there. Never mind. Right, so now for the flames, we're just putting some detail in the flames. I'm kind of either repeating the top of the flames, or I'm just drawing some lines within the flames, because I think that shows then that it's 3D and they do actually have some colour in them. Different colours, shades of colour, which when you're then colouring in, you can add, so some oranges and some yellows and maybe some reds, maybe even some blues where it's really, really hot at the centre. Right. Okay, and that there, I'm happy with that. Maybe just a bit more. And you can kind of, I like the idea of just flicking in some shapes. That really will give it a feeling of flames. And then, because it's heat and heat rises, we just need some little wibbly lines to show that it's hot. We then need to go back over each of the stockings. So I'm checking now to see what has detail. So we'll come to the final image and it shows absolutely everything that should be there. So on the bricks, I've got dots and lines. Yeah, you see that? And then that makes it look like the dots and lines that you get on bare bricks. You do get that kind of patterning, don't you? Different dots and lines. So just go round the background, filling in any lines and dots you want to do. Make sure they're just all in different places, different sizes, and all of a sudden the brickwork comes to life, doesn't it? Okay, it's the final details that do tend to make the difference. And you know what I haven't done is I haven't drawn the hooks from the edge there. We need to draw the hooks. There we go. So we've got the hooks and then we've got the thread hanging off it. Okay, so then we need to come in and do our presents and our crackers, give them some detail to show movement. I don't really think we need anything too much on the presents, because maybe just some lines to show where the paper's pulling in, something like that. Okay, but you don't really need too much. Crackers done. I think that's crackers done. We've done the tops. We've put the detail on the top already. I might just come in with some very thick, because now we've got the thinner pen, and just draw some thinner lines just to give even more dimension. Okay. Right, now what we do definitely have to do is the sewing lines. I think doing it with that finer pen makes it look more realistic. Can you see? Again, you can always just fast forward this part because it's just repetitive, going all around the shapes, which you don't need to watch me doing necessarily. You can, once you've done one, it's easy to figure out. I'm just doing tiny, tiny little marks to show that it has been stitched and patched on. Okay, so I think we are done. Yeah, I think that's all the detail done on that one. Just to maybe add a little bit back there. So now it's completely ready for colouring in however you want. I've drawn it on Bristol paper. You can do it on any paper, and depending on what paper you've done it on, you can paint it in lots of different ways. You can't see me very well, can you? So I would suggest, if it's on Bristol paper like this, you can use coloured pencils or marker pens or brush pens. Obviously, if you redraw it onto watercolour paper, that I would suggest not drawing too much, just draw the outlines, and we will come to that. And acrylics, the same, just outlines, and then you would add the detail in with the paint. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. It's time for another one. So quick run through membership. Please join if you want the download sheets that I've shown you and extra bonus videos. If not, you can just follow along on the YouTube channel with the ones that I provide on there for free. And the other thing is, what is the other thing? Oh yes, please subscribe, like, comment and follow. Brain fog. And thank you so much for coming along, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment below. Please let me know anything that I need to change about the way I'm presenting it, or anything that I'm doing, because I would love to know, as I'm only my 3rd month properly of the channel, and any feedback is most welcome. Thank you very much. Have a really great day. Take care, everyone.